All right, so let's see how this works out. I'm responding to a comment on video 120, Limbo Between Suicide and Stories. I'm kind of glad I put that out there. It's 30 minutes, kind of lace things out, good start. And, I'm generally not very good with responding to comments or emails and stuff, and it's not like I have a massive flood of them, but this one was just a little bit out there. It was kind of interesting, especially for the last part. So I guess the moral of the story is just write comments that are, what do you call it? I guess incendiary, I don't know. And I'll respond to them, otherwise I will ignore it. So just say crazy things, and, well, I don't know if it's crazy things, but let's go look at it. So this is the video. I took screenshots of this because it's just easier than dealing with live stuff. So this is a screenshot. And this is the right comment from Deputy Dave. I'll read the whole thing and then we'll comment on it, right? Passivity is a major problem for you. You sit about like one of those Roman emperors you used to speak of, waiting for life to bring you something. It ain't like that, buddy. Then there's your narcissism, self-pity, and your hatred for your parents who, as far as I remember, paid for the house you're living in now. Having said all that, I quite like you. Why don't you concentrate on someone you admire, someone other than yourself? Having a good example gives you something to work towards. I don't expect you to listen to me, but you should, because you need tough love. Incidentally, stop cruising on a lake at midnight, because cruising is what you're doing, and casual sex is not good for your mental health, just saying. So, anyways, there's a lot of things to unpack here, a lot of things that are incorrect, and I just want to... Let's start with the last part, because it gives me an opportunity to talk about certain things, even though... Yeah, it's a nice little jumping off board for it. So anyways, so incidentally, stop cruising about on a lake at midnight. Now, problem number one, fact check number one, I am not on the same lake. It is not midnight, as we can see, for sure. So, but cruising on a lake, like, am I missing a joke here? Like, okay, it's a lake here, it's a boat, cruise. But then, no, there's a clear reference to, mosquito. Oh, we got it. Now we will have to show the hunt here. There we go. We got it. Okay. So, but there is a, no, it's a clear reference to the gay stuff where they go out in parks and have like anonymous sex or something. It's like, I've never done that. I don't do that. In a lake? You boat around in a lake at midnight looking for hookups? I don't understand. Has that ever been attempted? Going around in a boat looking for hookups. I must be doing it wrong because, again, not on this lake, not on that lake. It's just, that's not what has happened. And as I wrote in the comment, which we can't expand because it's a screenshot, I'm not promiscuous. I've never been promiscuous. I've been, functionally speaking, celibate since 2009, right? There are some mosquitoes here, so there is that. So that's interesting. We could talk about that, Is it, I don't know if it's that incel stuff, involuntarily. I'm sure I could get sex pretty easily. I mean, it's hard not to these days, right? Let me see what's going on here. Okay. No, I have to interrupt with technical stuff. So you see the little, because this is a screenshot app. It's a screen recorder app, but I can also put a selfie camera here. Notice up here, right there is a bright yellow star. That bright yellow star makes sure that this whole thing doesn't turn off because the screen timed out when I tried to record this last night. The technical difficulties. Anyways, so I have not been promiscuous. It's like that's never been a thing. I think, maybe you could have talked me into it if I were younger. I had some maybe high school, that sort of thing, but I was, I guess, too shy or something. But it wasn't even that. It's just I wanted more than sex even then, that sort of thing. So that's kind of off the mark 100%. And again, the lake stuff, like, so please explain this to me. I mean, I really want to know because I must have been out of the loop here that you're boating around on a lake at midnight in basically the suburbs. And you're looking, I really need to know this. It's just, am I missing an inside joke here? What's going on? I don't know. So yeah, casual sex probably not the best thing. And again, never into that, especially not now, especially not on a lake. But I don't know anyone else who has. So if you have a story about cruising on a lake, looking for sex, hookups, anonymous sex, just let us know, because I really kind of want to hear that. So anyways, let's go. Another fact check. Fact check number 2, or number 3, I guess. Different lake. I don't actually cruise on cruises, no. But fact check number 3 is, no, I bought my own house, okay? My parents did not provide me anything other than the usual kid stuff where, you know, your children don't starve to death and you give them food and stuff, right? So that's basically it. I wasn't starved to death or anything. But I quit college when I was 19, 20, around there, and I've been earning my own keep ever since. I guess, but in high school, my mother gave me her older car or something, so I guess thanks, that sort of thing. But I have not been in contact with I have not been in contact with my mother since 2009 on account of her death. And I have not talked to my father since 2012, 2013. So, and the checks don't roll in from them either. So, you know, that sort of thing. And yeah, I kind of want to talk about more details around that, right? But just to, no, I'm not just, oh, my parents suck and I'm in my 30s and they paid for no, that's not what this is about. No, that is not what this is about. So let's see here. Passivity is a major Well, here's the thing with that. So in the video, I made the case that I kind of have not been able to talk about, well, like the parent situation and other stuff, because no one else really wants to talk about this stuff. I have not found a group to join. And that's what I meant by passively, is most people just kind of find people like them. They find like-minded people or whatever. Another mosquito. Oh, 2. Ah, okay. Well, here's 1. Can you see that? There we go. And I'll spare you the details on the other one. But I have not been... Wow, that is distracting from me too. Don't worry about it. Boy, what was I talking about? So yeah, my parents didn't pay for that, and okay, yeah, and I can't, and I could not find people passively in the same way that people kind of passively just kind of, they might, you know, look this up, they might look that up, they might put a little bit of effort, but, you know, it just kind of works, you know? People don't have to write, for example, a manifesto. Like with Guerrero, I had to write that. And so it's not even that I've been that passive, it's just I have not done the one active thing that I could do, which is kind of tell my story and tell my values and just talk a little bit every day and find like-minded people this way, because, you know, the stuff I talk about, it's kind of hard to plug into anything. And and to start doing this is to realize, oh shit, there's really nowhere to go. Sorry, it's just true. It's just true. You know? So the passivity is in some ways that other people do have an easier time because they, oh, well, I just found a friend. I follow some, not bodybuilder guy, Taylor Todt or Holt or something. I might link to it if I see it. And he had this very kind of cringy, oh, I met my wife this way and I love her so much. And this is why Guerrero was titled The Cure for Heterosexuality. There's a smarminess to a lot of the heterosexual stuff that it's just like, It's not that I don't like to see people happy. It's not that I don't want to be in a relationship. But some of it is just kind of cringe. You know, it's a lot more kind of visceral, a lot more kind of just natural. You know, like animals in heat, there's just a kind of magnetism there. I'm a bit more cerebral, and I kind of want to find people like that. I just haven't been able to be just, oh, it just works out, and oh, the chemistry is right. Like, that just doesn't work for me, you know, that sort of thing. So I saw a guy like that, and that's the passivity that people, like the guy said, oh, I changed my life, I sold all my nice shoes I had, I was no longer into all that materialistic thing, and I showed the woman I love that, oh, I'm a changed man, and meh. Oh, God, the cringe the heterosexuals do. You breeders need to cut it out, right? So anyways, what's my point? So that sort of stuff, that has not worked for me, and that will not work for me because that's just not me. So the one thing I haven't done, the limbo, is, okay, I could kill myself, okay, I could actually I could not shut the fuck up and actually start talking about what I actually want and maybe find people in that active sense. So I don't know if he missed the point on that, but yeah, I'm trying on that part to actually talk about these things a little more. So now we get to the good part of how I have narcissism, self-pity, and okay. Well, I've never liked this narcissism stuff where it's just this. It's like there's that cartoon of Hitler on a book with his arms like this, and it's like, everyone I don't like is Hitler, an emotional child's guide to political conversations online or something like that. And I don't know if this guy's going for that, but that's what it always seems to me, that whenever people say, oh, you're a narcissist, it's like, oh, just shut up and you're a bad person, and we just tag this nasty label on you, right? Let's see what the time is here. Hopefully this is recording. We don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's basically what it is that it's just this label. Is it narcissism to say after 35 years, I finally fucking want to talk about what's important to me? My life story would not because I'm so important, but here's what happened to me because I'm not an omniscient God. I don't know what happened to those people, right? Here's what happened to me. Here's what I didn't like. Here's what my values are. And it's been very difficult for me to kind of explicitly put that together. That's what I want to do. The self-pity, yeah, there's that. Yeah, things suck. And I'm not going to hide that because that's part of me too. I don't like this let's put a smiley face attitude stuff forward because it's not roses all the time. It's not miserable all the time. Today started off as a pretty bad day. I was in bed, I was a bit anxious about just the shit of everything. But, I went to the pool. It's nice and warm. There are some good little business things on the side. We'll talk about that. It's more of a distraction than anything. I don't think you can get that much meaning out of it. But it's good. It's fine. It's good. And I'm out here. I got here a little late. I wish I, got out here earlier. But hey, fantastic day. I'll go home maybe. Maybe I'll go home. It'll be fun. It'll be great. So today's not a miserable day, but there are terrible days. And I hate that thing where I'm supposed to just bite my tongue. And that has not worked. That is the passivity that has not worked. So yeah, so part of me talking about and having self-pity for myself and trying to weave that into some of the stories is part of the not passivity, that I can finally talk about this and put this out there, right? Okay, and we went to the hatred for the parents who are paying for my house, which they are not. No, I have not been in contact with them since my mother died and since I just haven't seen my father 2012, 2013. That sort of thing. I quietly sort of got him out of my life, and I just kind of what is the word for it? What's the one? Ghosting, is that it? Because some of the people who are like, well, okay, you don't have to be around your shitty parents, and then you just confront them and say, well, these are my boundaries, or no. It's like I kind of had by that time 20-something years, 27 years with them. I guess my mother was dead by that point, but it's like they're not going to change. They're not going to... Again, yeah, I'll probably dedicate a couple hundred videos to what specifically that is, hopefully, if this gets underway. But, yeah, I haven't been in contact with them. And again, they haven't been sending me royalty checks for what a wonderful person I am. So it's not that ungrateful, spoiled brat son who... And look, even if it was that, a lot of that is still kind of on the parents. Like, how do you get somebody to be in their 20s and 30s and they're not independent? This kind of perpetual adolescence that is happening this time around in the world is just so ridiculous, And that's the gilded cage I think my parents wanted me in. Oh, look at that. Here's another story. I actually, just to show how I wasn't mooching off of them, they gave me a free ride to college, but I said, this is bullshit. I'd rather not have free college provided by them. Free room and board, free everything. That was not worth it. Me quitting, me making $1,000 a month, that thankfully went up to a little bit more, but I was making $1,000 a month. That's what I quit on. I didn't quit on, I founded Facebook and everyone's throwing millions of dollars at me. I quit on $1,000 a month, okay? And I never got Facebook rich either, okay? But I quit on $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month with unshaky or uncertain future, and, I was hoping for a lot more. It could have been a lot less. It could have been a fill, right? But that's what I quit on, right? Is $1,000 is better than a free ride, free food, free everything. That gilded cage is not worth it to me. So that's kind of the opposite of what I think the Deputy Dave here thought, right? Of the right. Ooh, it is getting chilly. That is a problem. Ooh, not that bad, but it's like what, 75, so I'm cold. Having said all that, so you're mooching off your parents, narcissism, self-pity, but I kind of like it. It's like, okay, all right. Why don't you concentrate on someone you admire, someone other than yourself? Well, that's kind of the problem. It's not that I don't think that there aren't people out there to admire about this or that, but in terms of interpersonal contact, of actually getting to know people, it's like, yeah, I don't see what I want out there. I would want people to be able to, well, because I haven't done it myself. That's the passivity, is I was always looking for other people to have done the things that I want done now, right? It's confusing, right? And I just have not been able to do that. It's like, let's say you want to, I don't know, build a different kind of house, or you're looking for other people who build a new kind of house that is this way and that way, and then you can't find that, and then it dawns on you that, fuck, okay, maybe they exist out there, but I sure fuck as haven't found it, and might as well do it myself. Might as well at least start with that. And that's the lack of passivity that I hope to do with this thing. There are a lot more mosquitoes out here than on the other lake. Let's see here. So that's it. It's not that I can't look at anybody and say there's nothing good in anybody. It's just in terms of let's meet up and do people things. Yeah, that has been hard. You know, and it's been hard to sort of admit that. But here we are. So isn't that wonderful? Having a good example gives you some... Yeah, but see, that's the problem. It's there, yeah. Yeah, that does not exist for me, so... I don't expect you to listen to me. I just did. But you should, because you need tough love. Well, okay. I mean, yeah, maybe, whatever. So that's basically it. I'm glad I got this out. Hopefully this has recorded it. You know, hopefully we don't have too many more technical difficulties. And there we go.